Hot? Not hot? Not hot? Good. I remember you'll be on YouTube, you support no food snack class. Talk no food snack class and see. And I send it to you, you can put it on your status. I'll put it on my status. Hello. I'm not here. And ready for round 2? Also ready for round 2. Good evening, lovely people. You good to go? Rain and fall, so much time. Let's go. Today we're going on another topic, another parallel topic. We're going to go. What did we do last class? We did integer. Right? Oh, we have a prior one. No, it's not. I'm going to go. Okay, welcome. She wants us to pray, so let us do a soft paradise. Let us pray.
Knowledge is also the understanding.
Like, appreciate it. Basically, we can have in our class, but we can get so many good ones. Right, Stacey? Alright, hello. Thank you very much. Alright, so we're going to go on to the next phase. Why our class is small and so scattered? Think about a bit closer. Just a tap closer, maybe 2 or 3 years now. So who come last? Who come late? It's a challenge. So sorry, so chapter. So I'll leave the illustration class. Alright, so we completed the topic of operating with integers, and we learned a new way of thinking. We said is the owing and having method. Okay? And then just on that. Did I give you anything to practice?
Yes.
So you started. I love to start my class. I love it. It gets the newcomers who are just coming in to see what we do. Right? Alright, could you run those questions by me, please? Alright, so one at a time, let's see. Whoever attended it, let's see how you did. 13 minus 7 plus 1 minus 16 plus 11. Beautiful. So from our last class, we can recall that step number 1 is to put them into groups of 2. Alright? And in the first bracket now, we try to analyze and find out what do we have, what do we owe, and then try to come to a conclusion as to whether we still have or we still owe. So in this case here, in the parentheses, it seems as if we have more money than what we owe. So you still going to have 6 left over. 6? Yes. We're going to have 6 left over. Here, so it looks as if I only have a little 1 and I owe quite a bit, 16. So it looks like I'm still going to owe 15. Very good. And then I'm going to bring down that 11 there, right? Beautiful. Group number 2, or line number 2. Next one is, that's going to be negative 9 because I have 6 and I owe a total of 15. So by paying what I have, my conclusion is that I still owe what? 9 plus what? 11. And finally then, I now owe 9 and I will have 11. So I pay what I owe and I still have an amount of 2 left over. Go. Next one. Negative 11, negative 3 plus
8.
8, negative 19 plus 25. That's it? Okay, good. So step number 1, put them into groups of 2 so we can easily work the questions. In bracket number 1, it is clear that we don't have any money. We don't have anything. What we do have is that we owe. So we owe an amount of 11 here and we owe an amount of 3. So now we owe an amount of 14. Okay? Bracket number 2, we now have an amount of 8 and we owe an amount of 19. So the conclusion is that you're still going to owe, which is about 11?
27.
Sure? You still have 8 enough. 11. You still have 8 enough. So you're paying 8 and a half, the amount of the owe will go down. So it's going to be minus 11. Right? And then plus 25. Then we go back here, and again, bracket number 1 here is similar to that bracket number 1 up here, where I don't have any money, I still owe. So I owe 14 and I owe 11, and I now owe 25. Oops, I owe 25. And then plus 25. So now if I owe the same amount as I have, I will no longer owe you, and now have no money. So therefore the answer is what? 0. Right? 0. Alright, there were 3 more questions. 3 more. Let's go. Let's get it. 3. Take away 11. Negative 14. Plus 6. Negative 17. That's it. Okay. Same procedure. All we do is we're just building or repetition. Building it up. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. So bracket number 1, then bracket number 2 here. Let's go. So in bracket number 1, I just have a very small amount, which is 3. And I owe a large amount, which is 11. So apparently my conclusion is that I still owe a half. I still owe, so that's owing 8, right? Right? Yeah. Okay, good. Next bracket. I owe 14, and I only have an amount of 6 that I can pay. So after I pay that 6, I'm still going to owe again another 8, right? And then minus 17. Good? Boom, boom. Next bracket now is that I owe the same amount twice. So that's going to be owing 16 minus 17. And now I owe, we're going to just add 16 and 17. I'm going to owe how much? 33. Owe 33. Right? Owe an amount. Minus 16 minus 17. The other amount. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. 2 more? Yeah. Beautiful, let's continue. 12 plus negative 7, close bracket, negative 5, take away, open bracket, negative 3, plus 18. Okay, so we're dealing with that question now where the clash comes into play. So when we have a clash, okay, we need to get rid of that clash. And that clash here suggests that when a plus collides with a minus, we end up with a minus. And when a minus collides with a minus, we end up with a plus. We're then going to rewrite the question without the clash. So we have 12 minus 7 minus 5 plus 3 plus 18. Right? Boom, 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 boom. And then proceed. Bracket number 1, that's very basic, straightforward. 12 take away 7 is 5, very good. Next one, negative 2 or positive 2? Negative 2, because you owe more than what you have. So you're still going to owe an amount of 2 plus 18. There. That's going to be 3, very obvious. 3 plus what? 18, and that looks like what? 21. Right? Smooth. Okay? And the more you do this, the easier it gets. Okay? It's going to become very automatic. That's the only thing you have to think about owing and having again. Last one. Last one. Negative 14. Minus open bracket negative 9. Plus 8. Plus negative 7. Minus 6. That's it? Yeah. Okay, go. So again, get rid of the clash. The clash is what we need to get rid of. So here we have a double negative here, which produces a what? Positive answer, and an opposite clash here, which produces a what? Negative outcome. Let's rewrite the question without the clash. That's minus 14 plus 9 plus 8 minus 7 minus 6. Put them into groups of 2, like that. And then we assess each bracket to see what the conclusion is at the end. Conclusion of this is that I owe 14 and I have an amount of 9. I can pay the 9 that I have, and I'm still going to have a balance of 5. So I'm still going to owe 5. Listen, sure, next bracket, I have an amount of 8 and I owe an amount of 7. Pay the 7 that I owe, and I'm still going to have an amount of 1. Take 6. Final bracket here, I owe an amount of 5 and I have an amount of 1. Pay the 1 that you have, and you're still going to owe an amount of 4. Now this amount of 6 that you owe, giving us a conclusion that you still owe an amount of 10. That is how we get to the answer. But it's good. Even if you never understand last class or you're new, should give you some insight as to what we did. Okay? Alright, that is it. Alright, so over the weekend, for those who may have missed the first class, I'm going to be sending a few things. I'm going to be sending a link to help persons who still feel like they want a little review on it. So I'm going to send a link from my channel where you can watch the lesson again. Okay, that's one way. 2, I'm going to send you a screenshot or a picture with 10 questions that I've designed by myself that you can practice over the weekend after watching the video. And of course, if you still feel like you need a little extra stuff there, right there, our class is being recorded. So we will post it and you can watch it again. Alright, are we going to do this all the time? Yes. Pardon? My YouTube channel, yeah. Yes. Chris. That is me. So you have to go downstairs and have them add. Oh, will you register it and tell you? Alright. Alright, so this is my number, 220-7352. Just send me a WhatsApp message. You don't have to tell me your name, just send me a WhatsApp message, sir, and then I'll just send you the link that is connected. Just send me a WhatsApp message and just tell me the time, the class that you're in. So you're in, you just write, hi sir, 4 o'clock to 5:30. Then I'll send you a group link. That's not all. That's not all. That's not this is one. So it's the same until it begins. Alright, so we're good to go? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so today we're going to be moving on to the next topic that's affiliated with this. That's going to be operations with integers. Sorry, order of operations. That is the topic. Order of operations. Order of operations. So our four basic operations in math, as we have already discussed and as we're seeing here, is going to be multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division. There's other variances of operations like square root, cube root, powers, and some other stuff. But the main ones, everything is stemming from you being able to add, your ability to subtract, multiply, and divide effectively and consistently. Now, when you have more than one operations appearing in the same problem, then there has to be a sequential order in which this problem must be evaluated. You can't just get up and just decide that, alright, one student decides that they want to multiply, then they want to subtract, then they want to divide, then they want to add. And then of course you have another student who have another idea of how they want to work the maths. Some of them want to divide, then add, then multiply, then subtract. If we have everybody doing the same problem their way, we're evidently going to get different results. So we need everybody to, as usual, have the same chain of thought. We need everybody to follow one procedure. So anywhere you are, you can ask where the answer is, everybody will say the same result. Now in order for us to do this, we have to follow a rule that you guys are more familiar with it as being PEMDAS from primary school back in the days in the 1990s, early 2000s, early 2005. We used to PEMDAS. And PEMDAS is still a thing, you know. It is still a thing. It's just that I think personally that it has some limitations. I think we use PEMDAS mainly when we want to get the younger kids introduced to it, because at that level of math, we don't talk about exponents and square roots and cube roots. We mostly talk about add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And because you're at this level, you're going to be exposed to those types of calculations. So now we have to add in an extra two operations. Okay? So the one that I use is PEMDAS. Right? You have GEMDAS, you have BIDMAS, you have BIMDAS, they're all over the place. They're all mnemonics that people come up with so as to help your students remember the order. So for P stands for parentheses. Parentheses. Alright? And the word parentheses is another word for brackets. Okay? Brackets. So when you see the P, it is referring to parentheses or referring to brackets. The E stands for exponent. And exponent is not really used very often at this level in math. At this level, we mainly use the word power. But both words are quite synonymous to each other. Okay? So exponent, index, power, integer, they're all the same. So that's what the E stands for. M obviously stands for multiplication. D stands for division. A stands for addition. And S stands for subtraction. Okay? And that is the basic order in which every single math problem that you will encounter in the future will have to take this order. So if you are working on a fraction question and it has 4 operations in one, you have to follow this order. If you are working on a decimal problem and it has more than one operation in it, you have to follow this order. And if you're working on a whole number of problems that we're going to be doing, you have to follow this order. Now, in addition to this, there is something that you guys need to also take in account, and that is there are 2 operations here that are tied for priority, or what they say on the internet, tied for precedence. Okay, so the M and the D are connected, and I'm going to share with you how they are connected, and the A and the S are connected. Alright, so what do you mean by they are connected, Mr. Field? It means that even though I've given you this in a specific order like P, E, M, D, A, S, if you get a problem that contains multiplication and division in the same question, you have to focus on who comes first in the question. In other words, I'm not telling you that you have to multiply, then divide. That's not always the case. There are going to be situations where you are going to be forced to divide before you multiply. So your question to me would have been, then sir, how am I going to know when we're supposed to divide before we multiply, or how we're supposed to know when to multiply before we divide? It all has to do with who appears in the question first. Today, I taught this topic twice today, and I did have two separate classes where two students had that confusion. So I had to use the analogy of two businessmen who are millionaires. Okay? So you have businessman M and businessman E walk into a bank. Right? When they walk into a bank, both of them are customers, valuable customers. Both of them have millions, both of them have a business, both of them are valuable to the bank. However, on day one, Mr. M walk in and then Mr. B walk in. Remember, saying none of them, you can't treat them no different from the other, you know. They both of them have millions. And I like you can't say, oh, the customer wants special customer. No. So here, M walk in and then D come after. Who you ever serve first? M, because I him first, you see. So I use the common phrase, first come, first serve. On day two now, for some reason, Mr. Lee walked in before Mr. M. Who you ever serve first? Mr. Lee. So in other words then, most times when you go on the internet and you try to find a video to explain PEMDAS, you're going to find almost every instructor telling you that it is not M, then D, it is M or D. So whichever one appears in the question on the left, that's the one you attack first. And the same principle will be applied to addition or subtraction because they also are tied for priority. Alright, so all that talking now makes sense until we see one example and stuff. Show me what you're talking. So number one, let's say you get a problem like 9 multiplied by 4 divided by, let's do 9 multiplied by 4 divided by 3. Alright? If I gave you this question to do, anybody in the can. Anybody. So 9 times 4, because M is in front of D, and when I say in front, we are working the math from left to right. So that means M comes before D. That means you're forced to multiply before you divide. Alright, let's work it out. 9 times 4 is 36 divided by 3, and that works out nicely to be 12. Very simple. Don't trouble that. It's okay, that's easy, man. It's another one. Now, even now, I still have a student in here who, for some reason, them still don't get the concept of what we mean by or. So they have in their mind that M have to always be first. And I'm here to tell you that's not always the case. In example number 2, we have 12 divided by 4 multiplied by a number. Let's say 5. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't. In this case, if you get that question, if you try to follow the exact layout of this, you'll get the answer right. Because you're thinking that I always have to multiply before I divide. So you might be tempted to say, hey, this is going to be 12 divided by 20. And then when you go on the calculator, you get a decimal and you feel like the question is wrong. In this case here, you cannot multiply before you divide because the division takes precedence over the multiplication. So now you're forced to divide before you multiply. So in this case here, 12 divided by 4 is going to be 8, and 8 multiplied by 5 works out nicely to be 40. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Thank you. Now, hit that part here. Good when you can make mistake and still them correct. That's nice. Right? Now get back to that mistake. 15. So 3 times 5 is 15. Alright, you guys didn't see that. And that mistake in this over here is in my class. Alright, so that's 3 times 5 is 15. Alright? So boom, so far we're seeing what we want. Right? Always you work the problem from left to right. You always check to see which operation is on the left compared to which one is on the right. Everybody good so far? Example 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
You can see? Okay. Alright, let's look at example number 3 then. Not true? Let's look at example number 3 then. We're going to look at some examples now with addition and subtraction. Alright, because I said that they're type of priority. Okay, so let's look. What if we had something like 9 take away 6 plus 7? Now, even though, according to this order, it appears that you have to do A, then S. And it's not a then, guys, it's an or. And the or now suggests to us that it depends on which one appears in the question first. And here, you can clearly see that the subtraction takes precedence over the one addition. So you're going to subtract before you add. In this case here, 9 minus 6 is 3, and followed by 3 plus 7 works out to be what? 10. Beautiful, very easy problem, right? That's not really the challenge is. The challenge is coming shortly. Beautiful. Alright, another example then would have been say for example number 4, where we have 15 plus 8 take away 7. Something like that. Alright? 15 plus 8 take away 7. So in this case now, none of the rules supports us. It's obvious that we need to add before we subtract. So 15 plus 8 is going to give us 23, and 23 take away 7 is equal to 16, right? Right, 16. And that is going to be our solution. So far you have 4 examples that shows you how to deal with operations that are tied for precedence or tied for priority. You basically first come, first serve. Whoever you see first, and then first you have to work out, and then work out. That's when it's tied for priority. Now, majority of the time when you get a question to evaluate on an assessment or an exam or in class, you're going to get questions where they are not tied for priority. Now, if you get a question with M and A or D and S, M and A are not connected. So no care how the question look, you have to do M before you do A at all times. There's no consideration. And if you have a question that has D and S in it, there's no I want that if we must do this. If D and S are the question, D takes precedence over S. And it works out. So let's look at a few examples with that. Example number 5. All of these are what I call building blocks for what's coming. Okay? Building blocks. Let's go. Number 5. So let's say we have something like 15 take away 3 times 2. Most students, if they're not familiar with the order of operations, it feels as if anybody in here would be tempted to take the 3 from the 15 and then times by the 2. Be honest. Be honest, be honest. If you see this answer work it out, you'd be tempted to say 3 from 15 is 12 and 12 times 2 is 24. Alright, honesty is the best policy. Now we're here to fix that, because now you're now learning that M takes precedence over S. So in this case now, you have to multiply. So you write down back the 15 and then you work out the multiplication. So that's going to be 3 times 2 is what? 6, and so the answer is what?
Yeah.
9. Now when you work it out, you're going to arithmetically what you did is correct. You didn't do anything wrong. When you take 3 from 15 is 12. And when you multiply 12 by 2 is 24. So I can't blame you if you feel very convinced that the answer is right. Arithmetically it is right. But according to the order, which cannot be broken, you disobeyed the rule. And of course, when you disobey a rule, you get punishment, which is math. You get an incorrect mark for that. Alright? So make sure you always check the precedence. This is Christine. One sign twice. Getting you, Christine. You know you're smart, but we're getting you. Yeah, no, we're getting here, we're building it up now. I know what you're talking about. We have two same signs at two different parts of the problem. We will work both of them at the same time. But we're getting there, we're building it up. Sure. We're building it up, Christine. We're building it up, we're getting there. By the time we reach example number 10, you'll be working on advanced math question. Alright? Everybody cool so far? Any questions for me? No questions? Cool? Alright, go. Number 6. So, let's say we have something like, let's make it tricky. Let's say we have negative 9 plus 10 divided by 2. And you're asked to evaluate that problem. Negative 9 plus 10 divided by 2. So what I'm doing now is that I'm injecting a little bit of what we did last class into this class. So we have addition and division. And it's clear that division and addition is not tied for precedence. Division takes precedence over addition. So you have to divide before you add. So in this case here, we're going to write down the minus 9, and then we're going to divide 10 by 2. Then we're going to get positive 5. And see, we end up with a question now that's connected to our last class, where we go back to our owing and having. So this is not negative 14. Remember we spoke about that we don't do that. We say you owe what? 9 and you have what? 5, but you're paying 5 and you have, and you're still going to owe me an amount of what? 4. And that is your result. Okay? That's it. So there are 6 already, 6 examples. Any questions from anybody? Body clean? Okay. So far, we have a compilation of questions that explains tied for precedence and when we are not tied for precedence. So now we need to look at example number 7, 8, and 9, where all 4 operations are in one question. Number 7. 15 plus 3 multiplied by 2 minus 8 minus 18 divided by 9. I have to evaluate this problem and I have to show working. So I started using this. It's not a technique, it's just a different approach. I started telling my students, all my students that I teach here, that they use numerical values to label which one comes first, second, third, or fourth. So in this question here, we have 4 different operations. We have add, we have multiply, we have subtract, and we have divide. According to PEMDAS, who would be the first, or what would be the first operation we have to calculate? Multiplication. It's because multiplication and division is in the same question. Multiplication appears before division, so multiplication takes precedence. So therefore we put number 1 right here. Before you start working out what you know, put number 1 right here. Number 1. What's the second step after we complete the multiplication? divide 2, put number 2 right here. So that tells us what the next thing we are going to do. So our eyes is always at the top. Number 3, addition, right here, number 3. And then number 4, the subtraction. So you follow that exact order there, and it tells you what to do. So once I begin to do my working out, anything I now calculate, come back down. So I'm not interfering with the 15 as yet. So 15 comes down. But 15 comes down. Plus number 1 is 3 times 2. So I'm going to work out 3 times 2 and put what? 6 and write back everybody else. Step at a time, one by one. Read by stages. Now when you get very good at it, right, you'll be able to do multiple things at the same time. But for now, we are rebuilding one type of way, you know? Alright, boom. So where is number 2? Look back up at the top. Where is your number 2? Where did you label as number 2? The division. So you know that this is the next. So we're not interfering with the 15. We're not interfering with the 6. But we're going to interfere with the 18 and the 9. So 18 divided by 9 is 2. So that comes here. Beautiful. Where did you put your number 3? And the addition. So now we're going to interfere with the 15 and the 6, and we're going to get 21. Take away 2. And what is your number 4? Subtraction. 21 take away 2 is what? 19. Get the answer. Okay? The facial expression. Loss is somewhere. Where did I lose it? Where did I lose it? Where did I lose it? Okay. So we have 21 minus 12 divided by 3 plus 8 times 4. Again, follow a specific order. Don't just get up and do the math from left to right. You have to follow the rule. Okay? Follow the rule, guys. Can't go wrong. So we're going to use that numerical technique that I've been using. I feel like it's working some magic. Right? Apparently it helps students. So what are we going to label as our number 1? Again, which one walking at the bank first?
Divide.
You are walking at the bank. This is you. And you are walking at the bank. So, who first you see?
Division.
So you have to serve him first. Yeah, you have to serve him first. Apparently you seem to like multiplication before you like division. Because multiplication walking at the bank first. So once you are trackled, so this is you walking, checking to see who is your first customer. You multiply before you divide. And if division is before multiplication, you divide before you multiply. Alright? Because the two of them have the same importance as a customer. Right? Alright, beautiful. So your number 1 now is going to be your division. So you put your number 1 here. Like I said, if this is not your style, you don't have to. Okay? You don't have to do that. I'm just helping person, giving them something that makes it easier. So this is your number 1 here. Where's your number 2?
Multiplication.
Multiplication, which is number 3.
Addition.
There you go. You walk in the bank first.
Subtraction.
Subtract. Ooh, who is in the bank first?
Subtraction.
Who first, you see? No, we don't pass division and multiplication, you know. So who is next after that?
Subtract.
According to PEMDAS. ARS. So we are first. SRA.
S.
S. Because S is in front of A. So that's going to be what? 3. And then that's going to be what? 4. Alright? So you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see change up? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it depends on where the operation is. Alright, let's proceed. As planned, let's do that. Anything we're not interfere with comes back down. Okay? So we're not ready for the 21 as yet. So leave that alone. And then we're going to proceed now to do 12 divided by 3, which in this case is what? 4. And you bring down the plus 8 and then bring down the times 4. Alright? 12 divided by 3 is 4. Hold on. Yeah, 12 divided by 3 is 4 plus 8 times 4. According to what we have labeled, what is our number 2? Multiply. So 21 takes 4 plus the result of 8 times 4, which in this case is what? 32. Alright? Next. What do we label as our number 3? Subtraction. So 21 take away 4 is going to be what? 17 plus what? 32. And you can therefore use your calculator if the numbers are too big, and you should end up with an answer of 49. Smooth. Okay? So I believe it's your time now. We'll do 8 examples. So you need to round off our 10 by attempting 2 of these questions on your own. Right? And then once we can get everybody to be comfortable with the process, then we'll go to add a layer of difficulty on it, which is the parentheses and the exponent. Alright, so your turn now, guys. Evaluate the following. Here you go. How about it? Alright, good. So now we have number 1, so that's going to be 13 plus the result of 9 divided by 3, which is 3. Take 5 times 4. Number 2 times 13 plus 3 minus 20. Yes? Then number 3 is added, so that's going to be 16, take away 20, and see how last class come into play now? Prior to this, a lot of persons would have written down a variety of different answers. Some would have written down 4, some would have written down negative 4. Now everybody know exactly what the answer is. So that's 16 take away 20 is negative 4. Okay? Alright, beautiful. That's it. That's it. Next one. Where's row number 1? Row number 1 now is multiply. Then what? Divide. Then this time number 2 is what? Subtract. Then number 4 is what? Add. Alright? Beautiful. So that's going to be 17. Take away the result of this, which is 30. Plus the 21 divided by 7. Remember guys, when you get very good at this, you can do this in one line. Okay? Because I could have multiplied and divided at the same time. Chop it down quick and fast. But we do it step by step. You can become advanced on your own. Okay? Next one is going to be to divide. That's 17 minus 30 plus 3. 21 divided by 7 is 3. And number 3 is subtract. So 17 take away 30. We are bright people know that. That's negative 13. You have 17 and you owe 13. So you end up still having an amount of 13 balance. And then that's plus 3. And now you owe 13. Okay, some people not necessarily right on 10. You owe 13 and you have 3. Pay what you have and what happened? You still owe 10. So who's put me saying right on 10? But that's true, it's negative 10 or something. Alright, that is it. Alright, we're good? Very cool? And this rule is applied as we go forward. When you even mention the topic fractions, you're going to use it. When you even mention the topic decimals, you're going to use it. When you do matrices, you're going to use it. We now stop using it. It just won't be as pronounced as how we're doing it now. But the moment you work out a math problem now and in the future, as long as you have more than one operations in the same question, Mr. PEMDAS is your go-to tool. Alright? Alright. Now we have to up the level change. Today we can't do this to the whole night. And I'll get it right. So we need to add brackets to the problem. Alright, so we're going to move on to next. So we roll out 10 examples now and we finally understand this concept of order of operations. Now there's there's two ways in which the brackets can be added to the question. I'm going to show you 2 examples to show you how to deal with it. So we'll try the easiest one first. So now we have number 11. 15. I don't like 15 so much. I don't need to buy 15 at cash. Oh, 6 examples of 15 right. Buy 15 hours, right? 14. Oh, no, gamble up your crystal night glass. Oh, I've never bought a cash pot in my life. I'm sorry. 14 minus 9 plus 6. Hold on. 14 minus 9 plus open bracket 5 take away 2 14 divided by 7 plus 5 take away 2 times 3 take away 8. So on day 1 when you met me, we are the ones that have always been putting the brackets in the question to help us know what we're going to do. This question came with a bracket. So now we have an extra, we don't want to call it an operation. A bracket is not an operation. It's just a part of the question that you have to do first. Okay? So in this case here, we have division. We have all what we did have before. Division, addition, multiplication, subtraction. But now we have to do this part here, parentheses. So now our number 1 is going to be here. parentheses. So the number 1 goes right here. After we leave the parentheses, after P then comes E, but there's no E in it. There's no exponent here. So we skip out E and then we move to what? M or D. We move to M or D. In this case, which one is it? Correct, division. Why is it division? Because it appears in the question first. So your number 2 is going to be a division. Then this is going to be your what? Number 3. Then that's going to be your number what? 4. And that's going to be your number what? 5. Right? Let's do that in that exact order. So number 1 is going to be 14. Remember, we're doing it step by step, ladies and gentlemen. But if you're an advanced student, I will not have a problem. Just skip out and do more than one thing at the same time. So 14 divided by 7 plus the result of what is in the bracket. What is in the bracket is a 3. So 3 goes here, multiplied by 3, take away 8. So our parentheses is gone. Number 2 is our division. So 14 divided by 7 is 2. 2 plus 3 times 3 minus 8. Number 3 is going to be a multiplication. So that's 2 plus 9 take away 8. Our number 4 is going to be addition. 11 take away 8. And our final result is 3. And I'm showing you smooth like that. Okay? You see, not much difficult, only one extra line you have to do. And just remember, now it doesn't matter what is inside the parentheses. What is inside the parentheses will not affect what is on the outside of the parentheses. As long as you don't care what in there, you have to do what is in there first. Okay? And the order of operations is still applied inside the parentheses. So if you're looking out, if you have a question, and inside the parentheses you have subtraction and then multiplication. Inside there, you have apply PEMDAS same way. So if you go inside the bracket, and you see subtraction and multiplication, you have to multiply, then subtract to get the answer. Okay? So here's a tricky one, okay? Can throw off quite a few students, right? 10 plus 7, open bracket, 3 minus 8 divided by 5 multiplied by 2 take 11. If you look at this question, it looks very, very similar to example number 11. This is example number 12. Looks very similar. With the exception, pay attention to how the bracket looks. For this one, we had a number being added to the result of the bracket. This time we have a number. What is it doing to the bracket? Beautiful. Thank you very much. So when you have a number that immediately precedes the bracket, then that number outside should be used to multiply whatever the result you got for the inside. Okay? So in other words then, this thing right here means multiplication. Bracket means what? Multiplication. So make sure you make a note of that. Alright. So therefore, if we know that information, then let's begin our label. Step 1 is going to be your parentheses. So you're going to work out, whoops. So this is going to be your 1. Alright? Once you complete what is in the parentheses, what comes next? Stacy. Multiplication. Because remember, you know, the parentheses not done yet. You work out what is in the parentheses, you know. But remember that what is on the outside immediately affects what is on the inside. So your number 2 is going to be right here. Right, yes sir. After you complete the parentheses now, then you're going to move to your division, which is number 3. Now get silent, I want. Now get silent, like that. And then number 4 now is what? Hold on. Number 2, you know. There's a multiplication here, and there's a multiplication here. Pardon me. So there's 2 multiplication here. So you do this part and this part at the same time, right, Christina? That's what you were asking earlier. Of course, you were asking what if you have 2 distinct signs in the question. Yeah. So you have multiply here and multiply here. You can do them one at a time. That's going to give you an extra line. But if you have 2 multiplication in the same problem, just multiply. Anything you have to multiply, just do all the multiplication. So 2 here, 2 here. Then you're going to do what? Division here, that is 3. Then you're going to do number 4, which is going to be what? 4. Then you're going to do number what? 5. Alright? And I've set up the question that a little bit of what you learned last class is going to come into play. So let's do number 1 now. 10 plus 7, and we're done. So this means what? Multiply, right? So that's 7 multiplied by what? What is 3 take away 8? Negative?
5.
No, negative 5. 3 take away 8, I have 3, and I owe 8. Don't forget what you learned last class. It's going to keep coming back. Okay? Keep reminding you. Don't forget it. So that's 7 take away 5 divided by what? 5 times 2 take away 11. Alright? Come again now. Number 2 now. Well, 2 number 2 is coming now. So we have a multiply here, and we have a multiply here. How many son? How many son? Alright. So that's 10 plus, what is, well, let's not put plus because I want to show what I want. 10, what is 7 multiplied by negative 5? Think about it. What is 7 times 5?
35.
35. So what is 7 multiplied by negative 5? Negative 35. So it becomes 10 take away what? 35 divided by what? 5 times what? 2 take away what? 11. Not sure? Not sure? Alright, good. Alright, so notice that we still have a multiplication. This is why I don't like doing this. I don't like putting the 2 2's. Because now you see when we multiply here and write down the answer, notice that division still comes before multiplication. So now we have to go back and divide and then go back and multiply. Are you following? When you work out this multiplication here and complete the parentheses, it's now, when you write it down, it's now showing that division comes back before multiplication. So sometimes it's a little bit tricky when you try to multiply twice. I would recommend though that you do it one at a time, okay? Until you become more advanced. Next one here is going to be what? 10 take away, and we're going to divide, right? So that's 35 divided by 5 is what? 7. Not true? And then we're going to times it by what? 2 and take away what? 11. Yes? Everybody with me? Beautiful. Then we're going to multiply next, right? So that's going to be 10 take away what? 14 take away what? 11. And so, good? Talk to me. I'm going to lose you. Where? Here's up? This 2? Okay, so 10 comes down, and 35 divided by 5 is 7. And then we just bring down the 2 and bring down the 9. Got it? Alright. And then the 14 was 7 times 2 is 14. Next. Groups of 2, because you know this is how we did the last class. So 10 take 14. I have 10. And I owe 14. Pay what I have, and I still owe what? 4. Take 11. Not true? Do I have any money now?
No.
I don't. So I owe 4 and I owe 11 more. So I end up owing what? 15. Alright? And that is your solution. So you see, everything is just slightly coming together now. Now we start to look like a maths problem where you look like you can't do it. Because all of those little things that we did in example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we put them all together, that's what's happening now. Okay? And it's only this long because I'm doing it line by line, step by step. You can actually make this, you can do this in 3 lines or 2. Feel like I want to give you one to try? Yeah. So if I give you one to try, that should take you 5 minutes. And then we'll just do one example with power. Go for the time I was one to try. So we have 20 minutes to go. So you're going to try one. So try just this single one here. 25 divided by it's not 24 divided by walk me through. Help me out. Where's my number 1? This is my number 1. Then where's my number 2? Right as so. Now when you get what is in the bracket, you know, you have to go right ahead immediately and multiply it by what? 3 and 2. So that's how to be your what? Number 2, right? Boom. What's your number 3? Again? Well, we just learned a while about that. Once we complete this year, when you write down the question, it's going to tell you that division comes and goes. So it doesn't really matter if you put 2 here, it doesn't matter. Because they're so far apart, they won't affect each other. Okay? So I'm going to put my number 3 here, then put my number 4 here. Because division appears before this multiplication. But it won't affect you. It won't. So 3, 4. Then, what do I have? 5, and then what? 6. Okay? Alright, let's do it exactly like that's how we have laid it out. So that's going to be 24 divided by 3. Put it back in bracket or put at times, it doesn't matter. We all use times. Alright? 5 take 7. Negative 2, very good. Using knowledge from last class. Negative 2. Not true? Something like put it back in the bracket. Yeah, perfectly that way. Alright. Plus 8. Take away 4 times 5. Yes? Boom, let's finish this. This has to finish. So that's going to be 24 divided by what is 3 multiplied by negative 2. Alright, here 1. We're not taking away, we're multiplying. So that 1 there. So 3 multiplied by negative 2 is negative what? 6. Plus 8, take 4 times what? 5. Right? So you see why I put my number 3 here now? Because in this line, it is clearly telling me that division comes before what? Multiplication. However, if you multiply next and then divide after, it won't affect you because they are far apart. You're not connected, so it won't affect your result. So now you have 24 divided by 6, which should have been which that would have worked out to be what? 4. 24 divided by 6 is what? 4. So 24 divided by negative 6 gives you what? Negative 4. plus 8, and if you want to write down in this line minus 20, it's up to you, or you want to write it down, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put minus 20. We just multiply and divide same time in one line. Because it's so far apart, they won't affect each other. Okay? So if you want to write another line and say 4 times 5, and then do it again and write 20, it's up to you. Next one. My number, where's my number 5? Addition. So we have to add, not sure. 4 plus 8 or negative 4 plus 8? Negative 4 plus 8. And we know how to deal with this because you owe what? 4. That's a hand? Okay, talk to me. Alright, so in the second line. So considering that the 3 is connected to the bracket, once you have worked out what is in the bracket, you have to complete working out the parentheses. Okay? If it was a case where you had something like 24 divided by 3 plus open bracket 5 minus 2, then when you work out this, you'd have to go to division next, because the 3 is not connected to the parentheses. But because it's so close and it's connected by multiplication, once you've completed the operation inside the parentheses, you have to complete the parentheses by multiplying what is on the outside, okay? Alright, that's the trick in that. Alright, boom, what we do now? So you owe 4 and you have 8, and you pay the 4 with your owe, and you have what? 4 left, take away what? 20. And finally now you have 4 and you owe 20, you're going to have an amount, or owe an amount of what? 16. Alright? Wonderful. Alright, so we're not going to do too much, as I said, tomorrow, Friday. So by Friday, Saturday, you should see 3 things floating in the group. Okay, if you don't have my number, obviously in the class, this is my number. Just send me a WhatsApp message and just tell me the class you're in. You just write Tuesday, Thursday, 4 o'clock to 5:30. Then I'll send you a group link where you can click on and I'll add you to the group without saving your number and that. Alright? There. So once you do that, by now on Friday, I'm going to shoot you. For those who may have been late or work cause of late, I'm going to shoot you a video that explains this from top to bottom. You can watch it. Along with that link, I'm going to send you a screenshot of 10 questions that I've designed, right? That you can practice over the weekend and bring them back to me and show me if you want to. Okay? And then that's it, pretty much. So it's going to have 5 questions with the O and half and 5 of these ones. So you can practice over the weekend and you can watch the video and help yourself. Plus, the class is recorded. So when I release that, again, if you feel like you want to go back to watch this class and these examples, you can watch it also. The link will be there. Okay? Everybody has my channel link? But I'm going to send the channel link in the group, so everybody will have it. Okay? Alright, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Oh, I'm 5:30. Oh, good man. 7 minutes. So get me this place. So Stacey, I'm going to cook. Alright, Stacey? I have 7 minutes extra to cook. Don't spoil the rice.
Let's disappear.
Do not spoil the rice. And I'm not editing this part out. What you say?
Okay, Mr.
What you say?
Okay.
Okay. Alright, I edit out that part, don't worry. Alright guys, have a good evening, have a good weekend. See you all next week. Oh my lord. Very nice. I don't look stressed out.